Hello.
Mike, how are you?
Yeah, I'm well, thanks, Wei King. How are you doing?
Good.
The vast majority of the industry knows who Access Communications are, but in your own words, maybe just give us a condensed 2-minute or 1-minute overview of what Access Communications do and who you are, and because you've got such an extensive product range as well.
So Access Communication has been around since 1984, and we are basically, if you really look at Access, we are actually, our strength is actually in our chip manufacturing, or we design our own chipset. And today we covers video surveillance as part of our, we are the leading products or leading manufacturers for video surveillance. And today we also have audio solutions and other interesting solutions such as body-worn cameras as well. So we are use our own chipsets today, and we have designed the latest chipsets in the market.
Yeah, right. Okay, so that's interesting. I wasn't aware of that. So there you go. So I've learned something today too.
No worries.
As one of the largest distributors of security products and manufacturer of security products, what are some of the key trends that you're seeing emerging in market over the next 12 months or so?
I guess it's not uncommonly in a way to mention AI is one of the key things that's been coming in the market, as well as cybersecurity, as well as video surveillance analytics. So these are probably the three areas or the three key areas that's going to come out in the market a bit more. When I say talk about AI, it's mainly because how people are going to use it or how customers are going to use it. And in the show that you will see our new generation chipset, which is called Octet 9. Chipset, just to give you an idea, how what does Octet 9 really means to the market. Basically, it's a deep learning chipset. So basically, it's a full power deep learning chipset. It's a GPU chipset as well. So it's all the whistles and bells in there. But the interesting part is a lot of people don't see this is the wires that use in the chipset. Do you know how much wires we use in the chipset, in the small little chipset that we have? Give you an idea. It's about as tall as 5 Eiffel Tower together.
Wow.
That's how much wiring has been done in there. And in terms of speed-wise, our speed is about 6.4 gigahertz at 64 bits. So your transfer rate of our general transfer rate is 50 gigs per second on our data transfer. This is 6.4 gigahertz, is 64 millions speed of that per second, basically. So that tells you how much that chipset can consume today or use today. On top of that, the transistor that we use, we have about 2.2 thousand, I don't know whether it's billions. It's equals to about 6 labs around the world of an amount of transistors inside. That's how much is built in today on the chipset. So you can imagine the power that's been on that chipset today. And in the show, you will actually see a lot of this AI technologies on our new cameras in there.
Does the chipset, is that manufactured by yourselves, or is it sourced where it's chips has always been contentious, right? Where do they come from? What does that supply stream look like, etc.?
Yep.
We all experienced what happened during COVID with supply and demand, and then, yeah.
Agreed. I mean, the chipset is fully designed in Access. Yes, we use a third-party or third-party manufacturers to manufacture that chipset, but the whole design, so wafers and everything, is all from Access, basically.
In your view, over the next year or so, or the foreseeable future, do you see any challenges for the physical security market in general?
Yes, I think that there will be three areas. I mean, one is the AI adoptions, or the complexity of AI adoptions is, especially when you talk about large setup solutions where you have thousands of hundreds of cameras or in there. How do you activate or how do you implement AI systems into a site, basically? So I think that these are some of the challenges. What do you need? What is the customer's requirements in there? So I think that AI adoption will be a bit complex or a bit more difficult from a long-term perspective. Cybersecurity, because there's more IP solutions out there in the market, cybersecurity is very critical. So you ensure that there's a secure network, secure IoT products as well in the market, as well as how you manage all the individual IoT products as well. So how do you do that, basically? So that's a few things. But most important, I guess, is the regulatory pressures in terms of how you use AI as well. As you can see in Australia, there's talks about facial recognition, the privacy issues and things like that. So those will come along a long way in terms of how the industry will have a bit of a challenge in the future.
Keeping up with I guess product development, right? For authorities to be on the front foot, it's a challenge, right?
There's always the challenge in there.
So with challenges, there's always obviously a flip to that. So as in, there's also opportunities for the industry. So if we look at what are some of the growth opportunities for resellers, installers, and integrators in the coming year or so, or where do you see that going? I mean, there's a lot, as you said already, there's a lot happening in industry.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned as well, I mean, there's challenges, every challenges, there's always comes opportunity that comes along the way. And if you look at the IP video surveillance market, I mean, it's all talks about cameras. In the future, it's not only just cameras, it's the IoT products. It's what's going to attach into it. And at the event as well, you will see certain interesting products that we are releasing as well during the time, and how it becomes part of the IoTs or part of the security systems in the whole customer's environment, basically. For example, give you a simple example like audio. How do you make audios and visuals working together? How do you do that, basically? For example, if you have an emergency requirements in a hospital, for example, code red, you just mentioned code red. But if someone who is deaf, who can't hear, but you can create visuals of red in there, and it actually able to enable someone to actually see the red and announce code red as well. Or text messages or information that's along with the speakers, and how do you integrate all this information all into one? It will be an opportunity for partners or customers actually start to look at different scenarios, different technologies to put everything into one as a complete solution in the future. So I think that there's a lot to do, especially when you have AI coming in, and there's so much possibilities of solutions that you can actually generate moving forward.
Yeah, well, I very much agree with that, and obviously that's come out in recent days during some of the hearings to do with the Bondi stabbings, etc., around the communications and the coherent messaging between audio and obviously communicating with staff on the ground, etc.
That's true.
King, I understand that Access Communications have opened a really cool new experience centre in Sydney. What can you tell us about that?
So the experience center is actually for our partners actually to see and then really experience what technologies can provide to them, some different task solutions they require. So it's a space for any of them to actually, whenever they feel like, look, I'm trying to understand how does this camera works with this AI and all these things, you can actually come to our Experience Center to feel it and to see how it works together. And if you want to get in there, just go online to access.com and the Access Experience Center in Sydney, register yourself, and someone will contact you and organize the time with you all.
You've been a great partner of Security Expo for a number of years. You're a headline sponsor. You always have a great showing. We look forward to welcoming you back again come August this year. I think you touched upon a little bit before around what we can expect to see from the Access team this year. Are you able to go into a little bit more in depth of what we did?
Yeah, just do some sneak peek, a sneak review on what we're gonna play. We're definitely gonna release most of our new chipsets and models, which is AI enabled type of chipsets. You will see a lot more technologies in there. You're also gonna be hearing a lot. When I say hearing, you'll be seeing a lot of audio products in there, and you'll be seeing some so-called sensor products as well in the market moving forward as well. So you'll be seeing different things and how all this actually comes together. Of course, cloud, you can never forget about cloud. Cloud solutions will also be part of the whole entire scenarios as well. So I'm really looking forward for in August. So looking for good events.
Well, thank you, King. It was a pleasure talking to you, and look forward to welcoming back. So see you come August. Thank you.
Have a good one.